It's no secret that the Foddian genre is very specific. A lot of new additions to the genre check off all the boxes for what a Foddian game is, however, these games will never be as big as the big three. The big three have sort of a reputation for difficulty and come with a certain prestige as a gamer for being able to complete them. The problem is, how do you create the same reputation for a new Foddian game? The answer? I have no clue, but it's clearly a hard thing to achieve. In this video, I play Worm Adventure 4 Into the Wormhole by Joey Cook and discuss this issue and offer a possible solution to help engage a player base.
Yo, what's up? The dev asked me to play this game like 7 months ago, and I'm finally here playing it. We're gonna give it a go. Alright, we're gonna play the standard mode, and if we get bored, we're gonna play the arcade mode. Because I think the arcade mode is kind of pog. People fall. Oh my god, we're going to the fucking depths, bro. Oh. I was expecting a bit more of a bounce. Oh, it's so awkward. Okay. You have to, like, tilt back, but then, like, the tilt's like very finicky to get like the right angles and stuff. And then you can like swing like that. The swing's also not infinite, it's on like a timer. So I have to go over here now. So I'm gonna have to swing off the ceiling like that. Very nice. And I got some kind of gem. I like the strafe. The strafe is good. I feel good when I can strafe in the air. Like, look at this. I can just curve around a corner. That's nice. I like that. That makes me feel in control. The thing about, like what I can say is that this game has an idea, and it executed on that idea. And that's all you can ask for. But I don't know. It just feels very slow and methodical, rather than fun movement and obstacles to tackle. And obviously, of course, every game has optimization and some fuck shit you can do, but don't expect a Minecraft things happening anytime soon. Oh, I'm nuts. Look at that. Okay, that's new tech. That's new tech. We can recover. Alright, new section. Into the light. We're down to the depths. I fell like one section, and yeah, it's just like such a weird clunky game, especially with like the tilting of these jumps, like me having to like tilt back, and it's like the gravity's so like heavy that I'm always falling forward and backwards, like finesse to get the right angle. It just takes forever to get up if you fall, which is like not the greatest for Foddian. That's why I feel like the arcade mode in this game is sick. We'll probably play it later. Because, like, I just don't feel like this game needs to be, like, a Foddian. Like, I feel like with these controls and movement, this game would work more in, like a level-based system, where it's, like, the challenges are individual, but you can make the movement hype, and there's no, like, falling back down and having to repeat the same clunky movement over and over again. Which is why I think arcade mode would hit hard. I think arcade mode would go nuts. Or I think it's, like, Monkey Ball, the arcade mode. Who the fuck is this? Who's this rat? The fuck? Who are you? Hey, that's me? Why the fuck are you in my game? That's a thing? The game starts as slow, but as you learn more with the movement, recovering progress becomes a breeze. I believe you, 100% believe you, that the movement can be like really fast and flowing and sick. From the dev angle, where like you're kind of in the shell of like where you're developing, you're already really good at the game because it's your concept, you know everything you can do. And then like you probably know like speedrunners and stuff, or like people that have speedran your game who are also really good at the game, who have put like a ton of hours. But just coming from like the noob perspective, or like resetting your brain as a dev to go back to like thinking about how a noob will perceive your game, or like just like a first-time player will perceive your game, is a lot different from what you're used to like seeing with like interacting with the game and like regularly played players all the time, which I'm sure you thought about, and maybe I'm preaching to the choir. You already know everything that I'm saying. But for me, like coming to this game raw, no movement, no concept of what you can and cannot do, it feels clunky. Like I would have never tried to climb up the walls or do any like fuck shit, or even learn any of that if I didn't see like Donely do it, who's in chat right now. Controller is so much easier. Is that true? Should I switch to controller? I'm on keyboard. I literally have a controller in my lap. Okay. Maybe controller is the way. I mean, analog is a lot better for feathering this. The easiest way to learn the game is probably to play arcade mode, since you, like you said, low stakes and no punishment experimentation. Yeah. I would 100% agree. Honestly, I think, like, I like arcade. I tried out this game a little bit off stream, and I think the arcade mode was, like, sick. I was really enjoying the arcade mode. It reminded me of Monkey Ball, which I like Monkey Ball. So you place of bias. The movement feels incredibly fluid once you get it down. The world becomes your canvas. I think, like, I believe you, but here's like the in between is important. We can't forget about the in between. Like, I feel like something like getting over it or like Pokestuck or Jump King, what they do really well is that even if like you don't have the movement down, like you're saying, you feel like you could potentially get the movement down eventually. Like Pokestuck, it's like you're bouncing around, but then you see someone fly past you, and it's like, oh shit, that guy's moving fast. You know, or but like even then, like you feel the rotation, you see how high you can jump, you understand like the bounce and the mechanics, and there's like some inkling of like, god damn it, I can do this, I can get good at this. Like I'm doing like clearly I'm doing something wrong because I keep bonking myself. I just have to land Pogo down, and then I can do it. Jump King is like the fucking most self-explanatory game ever. It's just jump, land, jump, land. So that one doesn't need any explaining. And getting over it's like getting over it's the weirdest one. I think it's really only like popular because it was like the first Foddian. But like even that, like as awkward as the hammer is, it still feels like there's some consistency to this where I could potentially get these jumps quicker and quicker as I go on and become better. Whereas, I mean, I guess this game has that too, but it's just slower. It's just a slower like realization, and I think people might lose interest quicker, and especially coming from like an indie game perspective where like the name of your game is like it's not like it doesn't have like a reputation, right? Like Pokestuck or like them games do. People are gonna stick around and play it because of the core like gameplay elements and how the game feels and stuff like that. So if it feels like slow and clunky and they're like, it's gonna take me forever to get back up there, they're gonna be like, it's not worth it and stuff like that. Like, cause I don't know, I just don't. It's like maybe I'm being a hater, but I feel like the movement doesn't translate to a Foddian. I feel like it would work way better in like an arcade mode style that you have already made. Like I think, like if you like as a personal anecdote, if you wanted to make a Foddian with the movement, make the main game the levels and then have the Foddian as like an extra bonus for players to play once they've already gone through the main game and have become good at it. But if the main draw point is Foddian, people are just going to play the Foddian and be like, this is slow and clunky and I suck at this, without learning that the movement can be fluid, and then end up leaving and not playing the game, not seeing it through. Am I making any sense here with what I'm saying? I hope I'm not being rude, because I think the game's fantastic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's completely well-polished, fleshed-out game. The movement makes sense and is, like, there. Definitely, like, appreciate the quality and the craftsmanship. You're fucking insanely talented. This is, like, crazy good for a solo indie game. But I just don't want to lie to you. I don't want to lie to you, Mr. Dev. I hope again, last thing I want to do is be an asshole. I just don't want to lie to you. Try jumping really fast off the edge of the stick by spamming jump. Ah, okay. It's like a little slide. Oh, shit. Okay, I almost fucked that up. Criticism is always appreciated. You're a lot more understanding than a lot of other people. Oh, really? Okay, that's good. No, trust me. Like, this is very good. Like, very well polished in terms of, like, some, like, game jam games and stuff like that I've played. Like, this is very good. I am pleased with the presentation and the core gameplay and the mechanics. I have literally nothing to say about the actual craftsmanship and design of the game. It's literally flawless. Like I have no quarrels. It's just like the actual the pull of the game is not there. It needs the pull should be different than a Foddian, because the movement's a little clunky to start off as a Foddian. I believe that it works as a Foddian. And obviously, like, the speedruns and like you know it works as a Foddian. Oh, fuck. Please, no. Obviously, you know it works as a Foddian because you have speedrunners and stuff who, like, are already, like, engaged with the game and playing it as a Foddian and enjoying it and, you know, getting times and shit like that. The issue is the player retention. Yeah, I guess so. That's a good way of saying it, Domi. Nice. Oh, my God. All right, where the fuck do I go from here? Oh, is it just wind? Ooh, wait a minute. Take me! Where the fuck am I going? What the hell? Oh shit, I'm being dropped again. Whoa, what the hell? Can I fall off and die? What happens if I fall off and die? I have a feeling we're not gonna get past this part. I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know how to climb a fucking wall. Should we just send it? What happens if you fall into the void, boys? Let's go! Do we go back? Wow, so bad. Achievement. Oh. Well, at least it wasn't all the way down. If it was all the way down, I would alt F4'd. For almost all fighting games, would you say level-based is just going to be more welcoming overall? Yeah, but the charm of a Foddian is the difficulty. And I feel like you have to have like fun, clean, fluid movement that is intuitive in order to keep a player engaged, to want to continue in the Foddian and want to get better. Whereas I feel like Pogostuck's recovery mechanic and getting over its just like fluid speed of the hammer, and then Jump King's like fast-paced jump timings that you can do, just get to a spot, jump, clear it right away. I feel like those kind of styles of movements work in a Foddian-based game, and these they do, but only after a certain skill point. Like the thing you have to consider is that like as a dev, like those games have reputation, and people, regardless of their opinions on if they think they're dog shit or not, they're gonna want to beat it because they have that reputation, right? If you're coming into a game raw, you want to make your game as like fun and engaging as possible so people stick around. And I think for this type of movement in this game, where it's like a little slower, a little methodical, a little harder to figure out like the wall jumps and stuff, because that's not like taught or apparent to a player right off the rip. It's probably better to teach them all this stuff in like level based, where there's lower stakes and the player can get more instant gratification and less frustration in order to build up to a level where they can attack the game as a Foddian. Like the Foddian should be the thing you do second in a game like this. I've seen a lot of bad Foddians where the controls aren't intuitive, and the game just makes you want to quit right off the rip. Like I think the biggest thing a Foddian needs is fluid movement, and I think this game has the potential to have fluid movement, but it's not like intuitive right off the rip, which is why I think like it's like Jet Bounce. Like Jet Bounce has like fluent movement at a certain point, but it's in VR, so it's not completely intuitive. And I think like a Foddian map is good for this kind of game and good for like Jet Bounce, but Jet Bounce's main game is more level based and like lets you interact with the environment in a fun way with low stakes. And I think that this game would benefit from that better, because it doesn't have that reputation where people are like, oh, I have to beat Worm Adventure. I know it's a really difficult game. It's like you're coming into it with no reputation like that. And I think at one point, Jump King, Pogostuck, getting over it, they didn't have the reputation either. And I don't know, I'm not old enough, or I wasn't into those games at the time where they were blowing up to know why they kind of stuck around. As that'd be an interesting thing to like research or like figure out. It's like why those games, why people stuck through those games in order to beat them. I don't know. It's a hard thing to answer, honestly. Even if getting over it was worse back when it released, it would still have a huge reputation. Yeah, and I don't know why. Is it because people know Bennett Foddy and it was like, oh, the next Bennett Foddy game, or was it like more of just like, oh, this is a new genre of game and it was like the first to ever do it? I don't know. I don't really know. Both? All right. Because I know like Super Crew didn't have a fucking reputation. Pogostuck's like Super Crew's only like successful game, right? So like, I guess Pogostuck's movement's just too good. Pogostuck just has like some of the cleanest movement in a video game that I've ever played, and I think it's just addicting because of the fact that you can't get a rest. You have to like stay focused on the movement at all times. I think that's what just gives it so much draw, because it's like Zoomer brain. You actively have to do inputs, and I think that's what gives it that kind of like want to get better type thing. I don't know. I fucking hate Jump King. I don't know how that game got popular. Probably just the art style, and because it's like very, very simple and easy to understand, and it's intuitive. That's what it is. It's intuitive. While I think Pogostuck is intuitive, I don't think it is for most people. It's a learning curve. But I think just the fact that it's so fast paced and like it feels fun, and also the presentation of the game is very like lighthearted and happy with all the sound effects and the art style. I think that definitely helps benefit it for sure. Super Crew has a style and attention to detail that's like really good. If a mediocre Getting Over It came out now, nobody would care. Yeah, if Getting Over It came out now and wasn't like the first, it'd be dog shit. Like people are like, what the fuck is this hammer shit? No one would play it. It's just the first of its kind. That's why people like it. It just so happens that the movement is pretty fluid. But yeah, I agree. Oh, I fucked it. Oh no. All right, arcade mode. All right. What is this difficulty? Let's start from level 1. Yeah, so this should be the main, like, you should rip on this is clearly like Monkey Ball inspired, right? Like I feel like something like this should be like the main part of the game to teach the player. And then like the Foddian should be unlocked after you beat the game, you know what I mean? Like the map, it should be like Foddian mode or like hardcore mode or some shit, and it's just the Foddian map is like after you beat arcade. So then people like beat arcade and they're like, oh, I'm fairly comfortable with the movement, and then they can take their movement to the next level by playing the Foddian. I just feel like the Foddian is so intimidating and a pain. Like, you know, like when you fall, you don't want to spend another 15 minutes doing the same exact thing. If you just like right like you do in Foddians, but there has to be some love and engagement built up first before you just go ahead and do that right off rip, especially for like a brand new game with no reputation and like that has like not the like immediately apparent fluid movement. Like I said, they're 100% you can get fluid with the movement, I believe it, but right off the rip, it's not apparent and intuitive. I gotta stop saying intuitive. It's not apparent that like it's not apparent to the player right off the rip. Oh shit. Strafing? Oh yeah, we're strafing. So like this is sick. I like this mode. I bet you didn't expect the Foddian guy, aka DanCorona. Am I the Foddian guy? Is that what I'm known as? I bet you didn't expect me to be like, nah. Doesn't need to be a Foddian. Not all games need to be Foddian. I think Foddians are sick. I love Foddians. I think if a game's going to be only a Foddian, there needs to be like it's a very specific genre, and it needs to have all the tropes in place. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard genre to recreate. I'm not bashing on your game. Your game's fucking sick. Like this is dope. I think you know. I think I've made that clear by now, and you know it. I'm just saying for the rest of everybody, because it's well made. It's polished. It's like this is the UI is like great. Like all these little text boxes and shit are sick. Oh, let's go, baby. That was sick. See that's sick. This is like teaching me how to play the game in arcade mode, and also just like fucking being sick movement. I fucking love it. I feel like if I can go tackle like this is what I'm talking about. Dev, literally I'm enjoying the game through these sick arcade levels. Like bring me into fucking the Foddian after I beat all these and I'm having a great time. Mr. Dev, man, I see a key oversight in your in your level. What? Oh, you cannot grab onto ice. It's supposed to teach you can't grapple? That's intended? Okay. It's supposed to teach you can wait, so that's the intended solution, because you're supposed to be like, wait, how do I beat this? Because I can't grapple. And then you'd be like, oh, I can just fucking go off the sides. Is that what's happening? But I was just like, oh, sorry. Exactly. Gotcha. Clever. See, this is all it needs. This is what I'm talking. This is exactly my point that I was making at the beginning of this is like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what it needed. It needed just like a little like fun little thing to hook people. And be like, oh, and then once you beat it, you unlock hard mode, Foddian map, boom. Oh, dude, like this game is getting better better every moment. I guess arcade mode should be pushed more as a tutorial mode rather than optional side game mode. Yeah, I feel like you should have to go through arcade mode before even being introduced to the Foddian, because I think arcade mode's like sick right now. I feel like I'm learning the movement. I don't understand what's going on here, but that's quite an easy fix. I would do that. I think that's smart in terms of just for like a selling point, like in terms of to keep players like engaged. Oh, okay, I got it. So it's through here. Down here, through there. Oh, it was close. So close. Let's go. That's clean. I like that. That just feels good.
You start right where we left off? Alright. I'm gonna call it there.
Yeah. I mean, no other thoughts. Fucking, you got my seal of approval. Good shit. I feel like I gave this game a hard time because I ended up liking it at the end, and now I kind of want to beat it. Okay. I'm following Donley. He'll lead me to the promised land. Yes. Okay. He fell. What a shitter. Oh my, what is this, man? I'm nasty. I'm fucking nasty, dude. With that angle, man. I mean, I guess I did have him show me a little bit, but that was kind of fucking sick. Uh-oh. 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 Get there. No! Oh, cringe. Oh boy. Okay, it's not as bad as it looks. Woo! Woo! I'm clean with it. Whoa! No way there's level 3, right? No shot? I did it! We beat it! Wait, what happening? What's this? Oh, thank you so much for playing my game! 2 hours and 20. That's not bad. You know what? I was harsh on review. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a lot, this game.